Okay, hello everybody. This is Will Coons with Austin FC Communications. Thanks for joining us here for Josh Wolff's post-game press conference. And I'm just going to turn it right over to Josh for some opening comments.
Yeah, no, I think it's a hard-earned point. Obviously, I think the talking points made that we maybe pulled out of here with a point that we didn't deserve. But I appreciate the guys' work, effort. Difficult game, to come in and play here again in the heat. It certainly took its toll on both teams, but was pleased with certainly how we started the game and obviously try to minimize some of the things that Kansas City does really well. And I think we did pretty well in the first half with that. We obviously got the first goal and probably had a couple chances again. The ruthlessness, those knockout punches that you don't get often against a great team like this. You got to try to take and maximize, and then that'll put them on their heels even more. But they clearly grew into the game, and we lost our legs as was evident, and we're able to hang in there and grind at the end. And I think that's certainly 8 points in 8 games on the road. That we're fairly pleased with. Again, averaging a point on the road per game doesn't seem amazing, but I know I've been in this league a long time, and that's worthy of something. It's certainly above average, I would say, but. We got a lot of work still to do, but we look forward to getting back to Q2 Stadium, or at least getting to Q2 Stadium next week, where we get to play in front of our fans for the first time in an amazing venue. And, we'll recover from this and look forward to that.
Thanks, Josh. Our first question will come from Mike Craven. Then we'll go to Phil West, followed by Mark Turner.
Hey, Coach, I'm wondering if you can help me put into words how good Brad Stewart has been for this squad so far.
You guys are writers. You probably have better language and can articulate it better than I. But again, we've known Brad for a long time, and clearly his performances in these first 8 games speak for themselves. There's the way that we want to play, which is utilizing the ball and keeping it and building from the back. And then there is his ability to make saves. And I think more than anything, that's where I've seen him grow and develop, not just this year, but probably over the time that I've been away from him. And he's certainly done a fair share of keeping us in it. And for that, we're quite grateful. But a great person, a quiet leader, and his performances certainly don't go unnoticed. He's been very solid for us.
Thanks. Phil?
Thanks. Hey, Josh, congrats on the draw. Wanted to just ask you a little bit about Pochettino playing kind of more forward and Fagundes looking to be kind of playing more back, kind of parallel with Ring. Can you talk about kind of those positional decisions and how you thought that bore out?
Yeah, I think, we're without a striker right now. Both our strikers are injured, and that looks like it's going to be the case for a while. So we are trying to get a little creative. And we have these players like Tomas and Cecilio and Diego that have their own little skill sets and qualities. And we're having to move some guys around. But the idea was getting those guys in there in a nice little box. And we caused a lot of problems again. We did it a little bit in the first game, and then we had Jared and Johnny as wingers pinching in and running behind the line. So again, I think we had a lot of success doing that in the first half. And when we were calm and deliberate with it, we were able to really hurt them. And unfortunately, balls behind the line, we were offsides a couple of times. We had a number of chances to really hurt them again. And decision making and execution was poor. And in a game like this, like I said before, against a team like that, you got to take those knockout punches and make them count. And we let that up today. And then they get going, and they're really tough to manage. But I think Tomas did a decent job in the pocket. I think Cecilio, again, was the striker that would come down and be a pocket player for us. And then Alex and Diego were able to connect the games from the center backs to the fullbacks. And again, I think there were large bouts in the first half when we weren't too sloppy with it, that it was quite effective.
After Mark, we're going to throw to Andy Diosa, followed by Jorge Iturralde, followed by Arch Bell.
Yeah, Coach. Sorry, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just want to pick up on your observation of getting 8 for 8 on the road and being okay with that. I think it's actually a great haul. Kansas City got 10 for 10 in their inaugural season, so it ain't too shabby. Coach, I wanted to ask you about the offensive opportunities that came your way. You alluded to those and making more of those. You said, we maybe got out of here with the point we didn't deserve. We could have got out with 3 points.
Sure.
Like there's some real nervousness in that front line, and you can see that in the decision making. What can you do to address that before the home opener?
Well, I think we will continue to work on it. Again, I think the spots that Jared and John got into, and Cecilio and Tomas as well, as far as turning in the pockets, releasing guys behind the line, and even Manny Perez, Rodney Redis. When we get into these areas, they're not too tricky a situation. It's timing of the run. It's obviously now when you get in and around goal, just calming down your thoughts, making a good decision. But that goes for Tomas and Cecilio as well. When they do turn the pockets, what are the ideas of our principles should apply there, where we start on one side, finish on the other. We're looking for time on the ball, running behind the line, and those guys are going, and it's there to be had. And then we need to move our numbers up to have good occupation in the box when we do have quick attacks. So it's disappointing to not take some of those chances. Rodney had a couple chances, Manny had a chance, and then again, I think Cecilio and Tomas, there's more opportunity there for us to create some things and finish and finalize some actions. And it's just not coming off as often as we'd like. And the same goes for Jared and John. So it's there. I think we're close. And again, I think we left goals in a lot of games in these first 8 games. So we've left some goals out there. And as coaches, we certainly take accountability. But our players, it's part of the deal. Come to training, continue to work on it. And as long as we keep getting some of these opportunities, then hopefully we start taking them.
Andy, you're up.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Andy, it's a little
Hello?
choppy, but I can hear you.
Sorry about that. Can you hear a little better now?
I can hear you. Yep.
Josh, I'm just curious about what you learned in these 8 games, perhaps through the adversity and the challenges of being on the road for so long, and just if you could touch a little bit on the excitement leading up to next weekend, finally being able to go home.
I learned it's much more difficult than I probably first thought. The travel, the day of traveling to some degree that we did, the recovery coming out of it's been difficult. Obviously, each venue presents its own challenges. We were in LA, we were in Colorado at altitude, we were in Kansas City, probably one of the best teams in the league twice. Nashville, who was unbeaten for a while, they may still be unbeaten, but tough opponents. It's tough. It's a tough schedule. It's good teams, and again the flying around and dealing with the cadence was I think what I probably found most surprising, because it does affect the guys and it affects our ability to train, and physically it takes a toll. But I also learned our guys can fight and they can compete, and they're able to roll it up. We can come in here and execute a lot of the things that we set out to do, and we've done that in each one of our games. We got to get better in front of goal. There's no doubt about it. But that comes with preparation. That comes with giving these guys a little bit more certainty to what it's going to look like, and I believe we're going to get there. Again, I think we do some things really, really well, and there's going to be room for improvement this entire year and for the foreseeable future. But that's just part of being part of a team, and I think it's going to be exciting to come home, where we'll have energy and certainly intensity and also just a different cadence where we're in our beds and we're in our own element. And I think that'll be appreciated. But these guys are fired up, and they busted their ass for 8 games. And they're very much looking forward to it, probably more so than the fans. But I know our fans are fired up as well. And we're excited to get home. We look forward to the Q2, and, it's going to be a good one next weekend.
Great. Jorge, you're up.
Hi, Josh. It seemed at the beginning of the first half and part of the second half that it seemed like you guys have the control, and it was really to have a better score. What was the point, on your perspective, where you guys lost the half field and start going, to defend your the goal?
I think we had a number of guys physically start to feel it and get hit. I mean, the first half, Kansas City lost 2 guys to a hamstring, and there were a couple guys fighting for it at the end of the half. But like you said, I think the ideas that we had in the first half, our ability to control them while we had the ball, to get access to spaces that we knew we could get access to and get to areas that were going to be dangerous. I thought some of that execution was good, and it should have been better. It was there even more so. And again, we're letting some of that slip away. On the defensive side, I thought, again, we ran it a little bit different, where we're going to be a little more controlled and try to limit some of the things that they want to do, getting off the line, big diagonals, which they're extremely good at, and they can combine in the wide area. So again, the beginning of the game, I thought we did a good job with it. 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in the second half, we were feeling it physically, and individuals were feeling it. And we try to get some fresh legs out there, make a little of a structure change. And it's unfortunate. We give the ball away in a bad spot and we get punished. And that's, in the end of the day, it's professional sports. That's going to happen. And we got bailed out in some other ones, but we were hanging on there. There's no doubt about it. But we had some areas and some moments where we could have delivered a couple more blows, and then the game looks a little different, or can look a little different. But challenging. It's always challenging coming to Kansas City. They're a good team, well-oiled machine, great coaching, and very good players. But we've come here twice, and I think we've shown that we can definitely compete and put some numbers on the board and create problems. And we just got to continue to work for a complete performance.
Great. Before we go to Arch Bell, let me tee up the next two. That'll be Zach Smith, followed by Chris Tavares. Arch, you're on.
Thanks so much. Josh, you got some really nice contributions there from Manny Perez in that second half. Is that kind of what you perhaps envisioned, when you brought him in? He's just taking his baby steps in MLS, and here he is, really starting to kind of let it fly, using that pace, setting up those two good chances there, especially when you guys were pinned back. Is that what you were envisioning when you brought Manny in?
I think it was exactly what we envisioned. And I think even going back to Seattle, his ability to come in and kind of fill in and understand what was going to be asked. Manny's learning. He's a young player still. And again, there's a way that we want to play, but he has an athleticism and a speed and a ground cover it's stunning. And when he's in the open spaces, he can gallop, and I don't think anyone can catch him. And now it's slowing down decision-making, being calm in certain areas, delivering the ball at a better weight. He had two chances there. Obviously could have scored or rolled that first one across as well. And the second one, he gets there and firms it across, but he does a great job running in behind the line. His speed and verticality is extremely good. We're going to have to keep, continuing to work on timing and some of the positional aspect, but for the little bits of minutes that he's played with, I think he's contributed well. And, a little unlucky that he didn't sneak a winner for us tonight as well.
Great. Zach Smith, you're next.
Hey, Josh, I know you said that some players were feeling it today, and that's kind of what made that switch from an attacking formation to kind of maybe defending. But this is not the first time that you've had to make that switch. And I'm just curious, what predicates that? Is it always just kind of how the players are feeling, or is there kind of a sense of, all right, we want to escape with the point instead of try to push for the three? Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, no, I don't know that I understand the question, to be honest.
Okay. What predicated the switch from attacking to defending? Was it solely just how the players were feeling today?
From the start of the game or in the game? I'm not sure what are you referencing? What is there a moment in the game? Is there when we made subs? Is it before the game? What exactly are you?
Was there a moment in today's match where you decided, all right, we're going to defend? We're defending more, I should say.
Well, I think we started with the mentality that we're going to have a good defensive posture, a little bit lower, and be a little more compact and minimize their ability to get central and to get off the line. And in the first half, I thought we did a good job of that. In the second half, again, Tomas Pochettino, Cecilia Dominguez, they could feel it. They were doing a lot of work in the first half. Jared and Johnny were doing a good job holding that middle and sagging and pressing out wide. And again, the accessibility that Kansas City had last time in the first 45, 50 minutes was much different and much more controlled for us at this game, but it cost us energy. And that's what became evident. And then when that started to happen, we have a certain amount of personnel. We don't have a striker on our team right now. So now we're trying to make, some headway with what that structure is going to look like. It became a little more of a 4-5-1. And then they were able to get access to the wide areas. We weren't able to get as much pressure. And obviously, as we went on, we went down to a 5-4-1 and again, helped stabilize us. We were able to deal with the numbers they had along the line, as well as get a little more pressure to wide areas quicker. But it was challenging. And again, a lot of different personnel coming in there. And we were able to fight and grind and stabilize there at the end to get a point.
So
Hope that helps. I apologize if that doesn't nail it, bud.
Oh, no, I apologize for rambling.
No worries.
So Chris Tavares will have our last question for this press conference.
Josh, is there a sense of relief that comes from today, not only from the end of 8 straight road matches and you get to come home, but also I know you felt like you left a couple of points on the field there, but the way they were just attacking to hold on for that draw, is there a sense of relief that comes with that as well? So after everything, is this just like breathe a sigh that you're through this all?
Yeah, there's a couple things. Again, I think today, obviously, we give up 30 shots. So, that's not a great thing. But again, through the course of the game, we had our opportunities to really put a dent in what they were doing. And they would have been timely goals. Obviously, they had a number of chances, but we had some very good chances at different phases of the game that really could have unsettled them even more. So to get a point, I say maybe it's fortunate based on the idea of what that looked like at the end. But, we still had our chances to do damage, just like when we played here before. When we went up a guy and then we were even and we were up a goal, and it's similar. You had chances to knock them out and we took a red and then we lost it. But the excitement for me is, yes, going home and playing in front of our fans. These guys have worked tirelessly since the mid-January, end of January. And now you get an opportunity to come in front of your fans. You get an opportunity to spend these days around your family leading up to a game. And that's going to be exciting for the players. It's going to be really exciting for the fans and the community that showed an unbelievable thirst and energy for this team. And I hope they see what we're trying to do. Going on the road and playing the way we play isn't easy. Today was probably a little bit more of a defensive posture, but there were the moments that we were able to hurt the opponent, and that's what we try to do. But at home, there's going to be urgency, there's going to be excitement, and there's going to be a real drive to go get goals and win games at home, because we know that's where you try to grab as many points as you can. And we look forward to that. But the 8 games has been trying, but it's also given us a lot of perspective and good growth.
Great.